Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Post Fight. And in this edition of Post Fight, I'll be doing Post Fight UFC Fight Night Gane versus Spivac. So how I did for the card is I think I went 7-4, 7 of 11, 4 losses, but decent card. Could have been better, but 7-4 is an end to some real good momentum. It's still to end up positive. Still a solid card. That's all I'm gonna say. So still a solid card. None of my dogs bit. And then one fight was a terrible home cooked decision. But at the end of the day, all you could do is just try to plan for the worst, I guess, or try to predict or the best outcomes without going too crazy trying to predict stuff that you can't predict or that just goes out of the realm of sense. Like in this case, like a judge, home cooked decision. You can't try to predict for home cooked decisions. I said, yeah, home cooked decisions. I mean, sometimes you can, but yeah, it's not something you want to consistently try to go off because then you just look stupid. You're trying to go for home cooked decisions. At the end of the day, right pick, wrong result. That's all it is. But yeah, I think was that my first L? My first L. So yeah, 4 L's. Let's focus on that one a little bit. Jocelyn Edwards has been in close decisions, pretty much since she's been in the UFC in all her fights, pretty much. And, going into a lot of close decisions, then being in somebody else's home territory where they're trying to give their fighters wins by any means. Like foresight will be like hindsight. You could say, well, maybe that's one I should avoid, or maybe I should just focus on the decision more. But then again, prediction wise, yeah, that's probably something I could think about. But again, that's not ultimately not something I'm going to lean to like really ever. It might be times when like I feel like it's truly a competitive fight, like both fighters in their prime or both fighters like past their prime or something like that, and they were both even when they were in their prime or whatnot. But when I see a clear fighter that should win, and she was the clear fighter, and I feel like she clearly won, and even like hindsight, foresight, whatever you want to say, I'm gonna have to go that way. Even if they give a bad decision, and like, well, if I could know the future, obviously I'm gonna pick the fight they're gonna cheat for, or they're gonna lean towards, or give a learning curve to, or a judging curve to. But as far as like just like or similar matchups with similar setups, similar ages, similar experience, similar successes, similar lack of experience, similar lack of success, similar yeah, all that stuff. I'm pretty much lean that outcome. I'm gonna lean the other way. Even if they are in some home cooked thing, and even if this other person has been a lot of close decisions, they have been going to close decisions with fighters that have had UFC experience, and not just people that just were anybody. Not that they were phenomenal fighters, but at the very least they were tested and I guess proven to some extent in the UFC, some more than others. First person who was untested. Yeah, but it is what it is. All I gotta do is just try to maybe just somewhat. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think about the prediction side of things. But I guess for the betting side, I guess for that point, I could knowing fights like that in their track record, like a decision or overs, don't even try to predict or bet a particular fighter. Just bet overs and decision. It's a fighter where this fighter all their fights go to decisions and stuff, and this fight looking like it'll be a decision. Hasn't really shown ever really to be close to no finish. So yeah, that could have been something, but it is what it is. As far as Nora Canoli going forward, she's 34 years old. She's getting taken down by a fighter who pretty much most of her losses have been getting taken down. I know his MMA math is not a exact science, but I think she's gonna get this win here. Well, she got that win here. She got a gift, but I don't can't see her going too much further than that. You're gonna take it down by Jocelyn Edwards. I think other fighters that have grappling styles are gonna be able to really put it on you. So, not at all impressed with what I've seen from her. She shouldn't have got the win, but hey, maybe you could when they take her out of France, she's on the chopping block for everyone else. She's fresh meat, blood in the water for everyone else, or not everyone else, but a lot of fighters. And the fact that she beat Jocelyn Edwards, she probably will get matches someone of similar skill to Jocelyn Edwards or better. And yeah, so she get a gift now, but that gift quickly turns into a not a gift, turns into a punishment almost. Because if she would have lost to Jocelyn Edwards, they probably would have matched her up with some lesser competition, and she probably could have picked up some wins. But I think either way, they're gonna probably try to keep her around, make her fight like once a year or something, until she give her like 4 or 3 years in there. Probably go like 1 and 3 or something. But be able to be a little ambassador for France and put on some French cards, and maybe one American card here and there, and just stretch her her remaining years out in it, her career, and probably give her a little money on the side or something. But because skill wise and trajectory wise and ceiling wise, she really ain't got much to offer. So they're gonna try to find some way to keep her around to some extent. But yeah, very low ceiling. Matter of fact, I think she already peaked a little bit above her ceiling because she got a gift. But now that's 5 minutes to talk about that fight and that fighter and that outcome. Now on to the next L. It was so that's the first L. The second L was I think Riz McKee versus Ange So Riz McKee, Ange. Yeah, this is my first dog pick of the card. And yeah, with Riz McKee versus Ange I thought Riz McKee would be able to put a value and ultimately just be able to outwork Ange but I just feel this fight just I guess shows and further cements that yeah, Riz McKee just lacks the power, lacks the size, lacks the form. Well, he just lacks the size and power to really gain that respect, at least at this level. And he doesn't have the skills to make up for it. So it's like it's gonna be a struggle for him to even get a win in the UFC. But they, there's definitely people he could beat with in the UFC. Maybe he can make it to lightweight, maybe a big maybe. But even then, like his chances of winning UFC are very slim unless they very favorably match him up with. But they could do it. Like there's some people that don't really belong in the UFC, but they have managed to pull out the biggest scrubs to keep them in the UFC. Like they bring guys off the regional scene. You go on a 4-fight losing streak outside the UFC in the backyard of someone's I don't know, in the back of some mall or whatever, because you're getting knocked out and slid underneath the rug and underneath the ring in the bum leagues. They bring you in so this other fighter can style on you and look good. They basically, I don't know, they get experience by beating on cans, and all of a sudden now they made the experience, got better, and now they got confidence, and then they can have a steady UFC career instead of just coming here and facing, actually solid guys like Ange and yeah. Yeah, Ange looked good. He did fade a little bit. His cardio did have some little bit of issues there, but ultimately he was the better fighter through the 3 rounds, and it was pretty clear. McKee had little moments, but ultimately Ange pretty much dictated the pace of that whole fight and won that fight. So, yeah, it's gonna be hard for Riz McKee to win. I feel they're gonna need to match him up with somebody that, again, like a scrub that's struggling even outside the UFC, probably even losing outside the UFC, or who knows? They could bring people from Cage Warriors over and just bring them on short notice and let him fight them, or bring them up a weight class and have him fight them, and then he could pick up some wins. But people actively in the UFC, I feel like he's gonna be a very hard and a very big if he can even beat these people that they're going to match him up with that's already in the UFC and have wins in the UFC and have years underneath their belt in the UFC. So, yeah. Yeah. So, third one was, who was it? Oh, it was, Thiago Moises versus Benoit Saint Denis. People saying his name a whole lot of way. I think I'm still butchering his name. But Benoit Saint Denis. Yeah, and with this one, I started looking more into it. Initially, I was leaning Benoit Saint Denis, but then I was looking, wait, Thiago Moises, I feel like he was, yeah, forgot what I was saying, but anyway, yeah, Benoit Saint Denis proved that he truly is of this level, and he can go far in this sport and in this weight class, for sure. I ain't gonna say he's gonna be no top 5 guy just yet, but definitely think he could do well in top 15. I think he could do well in top 10, especially with the division, quickly about to shift. People get older, people come out, people fall down, people start to trend downwards. He could definitely jump into that mix. I feel like the division's about to, very close to, the Poiriers and Gaethjes moving on, and you're going to need some more new talent. Like, who's really there waiting? Jalen Turner choking like a mug up there. So, it's like, he could fit right into that mold and be in top, a year and a half from now, Gaethje not there no more, Poirier not there no more. Then you got like 2 spots right there gone. Then you got Dariush, who's been around longer than those guys. He gonna be gone. Then I said he can't beat those guys. I feel like he could beat those guys in a couple months, a year past now. He's probably gonna be the favorite, or one more big win. He probably be the favorite going. Well, not against Poirier and Gaethje, but maybe a year and a couple big wins. He'll be the favorite going there with them. But yeah, he looked good. And I just remember what I was talking about. Thiago Moises. Yeah, he was not nearly as old as I thought he was. I thought he was like a 34, 35-year-old, veteran or something. Not 35 years of fighting veteran, but like 35 years old. He'd been in there with a lot of the good people in the weight class. but just ended up being in the journeyman department. Like he fought a lot of good people, he beat some good people, but so I was like, oh, yeah, it's looking like Bruno Saint Denis. But look, wait, the guy only like 28 years old, 27 years old. He's still very young, or something like that. And Benoit Saint Denis like 27, or he was like 29. By the way, they both were sub 30. So like, oh, and he did look good against this fighter. He did look good against that fighter. He has shown more against obviously more tested fighter because has been around longer. He was up there longer. Whereas Benoit Saint Denis is on the upcoming, so he obviously has not fought those guys to that same level. But now he's got a good preview of those guys, and he has done well by not only dominating Thiago Moises but finishing Thiago Moises as well. And I think he did it even quicker and with less issue than Islam Makhachev did. But Islam Makhachev is also another young fighter, and he's getting better with each and every fight. And obviously, I feel like he fought Moises now, he would finish him pretty easily too. So maybe with less issues, but all speculation. And yeah, so good win for Benoit Saint Denis. That's ultimately like a audible, I guess, to shift to Thiago Moises because yeah, he was a dog, and but you also got to rate the level of competition that he had fought and how he had fared against that level of competition. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lean him. And then like I said, oh, high confidence or low confidence. I knew it was like a low confidence because how good Benoit Saint Denis had been looking, and he was the favorite for a reason. But again, I still wanted to see more from him, and he has shown me that more. At least for this level and probably next couple fights. Top 10, maybe I might doubt him again, but top 15, I think he can excel there. Top 10 questions, top 5 obviously questions, but definitely going to keep my eye out for him. It was a very good performance from him, and it's literally nothing to take away from him, but give his props. So good win for Benoit Saint Denis, and yeah, on to the next one. So the fourth and final L was Rose Namajunas versus Manny Fiorot. In this one, am I even saying like what I could learn from this one? It's not really. These fights been outside. One was a robbery, and the other three were dog picks. So I already know with dog picks. Not like I want a lot of confidence, like ignorant lot of confidence. Like I'll put a lot of confidence on this dog that I know. No, it's dog for a reason. It's not really a clear enough path to say no, any like super high confidence or low confidence is very fitting for these. So it's like I already knew the risk going in there. I didn't really expect all three of them to lose, but yeah, they were the dogs for a reason. It also doesn't help that they were fighting in France as well. I think all these dogs. So Namajunas was going against a French. Moises was going against a French, and not to say that they only lost because they were in France. Obviously, Moises got stopped. Who else was that a dog? Yeah, Namajunas. And yeah, Riz McKee, but I don't think was he fighting a French guy? I don't think so. But anyway, it is what it is. But with this one, the Rose Namajunas fight, even that fight, what I'm saying, I think it was very much a winnable fight for Rose Namajunas. And I'm not gonna say because her finger got injured or broke or dislocated or whatnot was the reason she lost. I'm literally not saying that. The right woman won is what it is. I think where Rose could have done better and probably could have secured a win for her and me, I guess, is she could have been a little bit more aggressive from the start. I feel like she kind of started a little slow. Second round, she kind of took off. The third round, she did what she should have did, probably in the second round. I feel the first round was pretty close. You probably could even lean that for her. I feel like she landed cleaner, flusher, more technical shots. And was a better striker throughout, but not as consistent as Manny Fiorot, and maybe not as big as Manny Fiorot, but yeah, she could have started a little bit quicker and use that experience and use the fact that she has been in these 5-round fights. She has been fighting at a higher level longer. She has been training with elite competition longer, been in with Valentinas and probably so many other people. And yeah, this could have pushed the pace earlier. Clearly saw that Manny Fiorot was not liking the pressure she was putting on her, and she could have started that from the jump. It's only a 3-round fight. It's not a 5-round fight. And she waited too late. And it's not even. I think the finger is probably. Matter of fact, the finger is not the biggest issue of that fight. The biggest issue was, she got active too late. But no, it's a very close fight, but a clear enough win because first round was pretty close, but you're in French territory, so close round that you got outlanded by like 2 strikes. You got to figure you're going to lose that one. Second round, you got landed by like 10 strikes, 10, 15 strikes, so you definitely lost that one. Third round, I think she outlanded her. I mean, Rose finally got a round back. I think she won that one pretty clear. Yeah, pretty clear in my opinion. I don't think it was no close round. I think it was close, but it was pretty clear Rose won the third round. But yeah, like you waited to the third round to really start pushing the pace, and you only got 3 rounds. It's not a smart strategy, but yeah, it is what it is. Rose took too long to really fire and get active, and ultimately I lost the fight. It was not 5 rounds, it was 3 rounds. But I think Rose could bounce back well. I think Amanda Fiora's on a fast track right now to get a title shot. You know, be that second or third, well, probably second title shot after. No, she's not second title because right now, Valentina's getting a shot. You know, getting her rematch. Then you got what's her name? I'll be forgetting these people's names so quickly. Oh, you got Blanchfield, who's deservedly waiting, but they might match her up with Manny Fiorot potentially. But yeah, I think Erin Blanchfield deserved a title shot. So give her the next title shot. Then maybe there might be one more person waiting, and maybe you can match Fiorot with Talia Santos, who just lost to Erin Blanchfield. You know, just to keep her busy for the time being, and also show how does she stack up versus someone who just lost to Erin Blanchfield, and maybe make that a main event and have that 5 rounds, and that'd be interesting. Maybe she can put her away, maybe this, maybe that, but yeah. But it is what it is. All 3 dogs didn't hit. I think it was pretty good explanation, pretty good breakdown to why I felt they had angles to win, but ultimately it just did not materialize. Some fights were closer than others, but yeah, it is what it is. And now main event: Cyril Gane versus Sergey Spivac. Cyril Gane just went out there and dominated Sergey Spivac from start to finish. Spivac maybe had landed like 2 or 3 good punches. It really probably like 1 good punch, or maybe you combine them all together, maybe get 1.5 good punches, but nothing really too flush. He showed a pulse, he showed toughness to some extent, but Cyril Gane was just too much for him. He tried to go for like a couple takedowns, was probably only decently close to 1, but even then it wasn't able to really shoot a good takedown on him. And Cyril Gane was able to address it, defend it, stuff it, sprawl on it, and just went back to picking him apart and put him away in the second round. So phenomenal performance from Cyril Gane. And this shows that these other guys ain't Ngannou or John Jones. You know, you probably got the Spivacs, well, not Spivac, you got the Pavlovich, you got the Aspinalls, and maybe the Almeida. Almeida's still a question mark, but I definitely think Pavlovich and Aspinall have proven that they are among this new generation, or this now generation, not no new generation. They're not no college kids or no high school kids or no 20, 21 years old. These are grown men, and they are right there in the midst of title shots, sitting right, you know, top 5, 6, 11, or something like that, or 3 and whatnot. They it is now their time, and whether John Jones sticks around and is able to beat them or not, or he retires after the next fight or the next fight after that, these guys are going to still be there once he's gone, at least for the next couple years, next 3, 4 years probably, well, next 2 to 4 years. So they are the now fighters of the heavyweight division, and those guys sit at the top. Aspinall, Gane, Pavlovich, and Almeida. But Almeida right now is still question mark, and we don't know who's else on the come up. But those 4 right now stand out by far the most out of everybody else who's in the division. But yeah, good win for Cyril Gane. Again, I went 7-4 or 7-11. Could have done better. But it is what it is, and I'll just take what I can from this card and these results and try to roll it into next week and use what is applicable and what's not applicable, or don't use what's not applicable, and just try to stay, you know, positive and I'll do myself every week. This was kind of a little bit of a backstep, but still a good card, but could be better, and always be better, and always going to strive to be better. And that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.